the core family, as we know it, unfortunately, is the least safe place for children. Not in Australia, in the Western world, and in more traditional societies, even more so. The data speaks about every fifth child that goes through some kind of abuse, sexual, physical, emotional, and the core family is the place which exactly those parental rights that you are talking about, and the custody, this total custody that we have in this structure of marriage, which still gives men domination, complete domination over their children and too often over their women, and who are called wives, is a part of the ongoing hurt in children. So I do want to put the discussion on parental rights in perspective and in context, and the context of what are the values of this core family that you are protecting so much.
So, I obviously disagree with you, and I disagree vehemently that this idea that the family is this inherently unsafe place for
this is
children.
reality.
I fundamentally disagree with that.
Well,
and I don't think
had you been working a little bit for the benefit of, and recognizing violence and domestic violence, you would have known that this is just the reality.
I'm very aware of the issues around domestic violence. And,
well, apparently not.
Excuse me. I'm very aware of the discussion in this country, and our government has taken very strong measures when it comes to domestic violence, but I disagree with your assertion that the family is somehow inherently unsafe. Certainly some families prove to be unsafe for children, and we have ways of dealing with that, but the family is not inherently unsafe for raising children.
Well,
so what do you got for us instead?
Oh, okay. So first and foremost, I want to say that I'm all for love. The guy who asked before, I'm very much in for love, really. But really,
yeah,
unfortunately, no. And it does not necessarily have to do with who you make a child with or who you bring it up with. That's one of the things that we need to start breaking apart. I believe that instead of marriage, the state should offer two kinds of default agreements. One is custody over children. A child can have more than two parents. They don't have necessarily to be his biological parents or her biological parents. The person who takes responsibility for the child, and someone must take responsibility for the child, needs to be obligated for certain criteria that the state should actually decide on. What does it mean that you are responsible for the child? And I believe, of course, it has to consume a lot of freedom for the child to be who or she or he is.
And you want the state deciding this?